Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester, and I hope you are too. Matter of fact, I know you are too. And if you're not, you're going to be one by the time you sit here and binge watch some of my videos, because you'll be like, hey, I want to know what this crazy lady's talking about. She has something figured out. Well, not quite, but I think I do. I think I got a little bit figured out, right? What I'm discussing in this video is releasing to receive. What I realize is that, something that we already know that we probably don't give a lot of attention to, but many times we walk around in life and we're like holding on to these ideas. We're holding on to expectations. We're holding on to things somebody did wrong or things somebody did right, or how they showed up for us or how they didn't. And when I was in my 30s, I meet a lot of people who are bitter with their parents. I'm just like, dude, let it go. But I get this process. Everybody has process, right? But I've met people who parents are in a grave and they still got a problem with them. I'm like, what do you think you're going to get out of that? They're not even here for you to yell at them or look at them funny. And so we got to get to a place in our lives where we start to understand that everybody's human. And just because you evolved further along than your parents, it doesn't make you better than them. It just means that you had the tools and the ability, and you had access to the information and resources that allowed you to take your life a little bit further, right? And that's all that is. Right. And I think the real proof of enlightenment, the real proof of spiritual awakening, the real proof of advancement in your emotional intelligence is when you can see your parents and you can see the level of love and attention and effort that they put towards giving you the best that they were able to give you. So I always know it's a red flag when I meet someone. I won't say red flag, but I'm kind of like, I'm past that when I meet someone and they start going on about their parents. I'm like, dude, what are you, 50? Let's move on. You know what I mean? And so I think sometimes that you meet people and they're like holding on to these things, right? Because they like, I feel like I was wronged in this. I feel like I was wronged in that. And that's why I don't really get into, like, I love YouTubers and I love videos that they put out there. But a lot of where I look at videos and a lot of the creators that I'm into, sometimes they go on about they a lot, right? Now we know there's a problem with they. I don't think we have to keep discussing they over and over again, right? We know they give us issues. We know they don't want to see us be great. We know they can be the enemy. And we also know they are a reflection of us if we really are being honest with ourselves, right? And so to get so caught up in those conversations, to me, is not really useful. And so sometimes I have those days to where I'm like, am I crazy? Or are they crazy? Am I crazy? And so I might watch some they videos, right? They thought they were going to do it. And you're just like, oh, okay, I thought so, right? But I wouldn't consume myself with that, because many times what you sit there and look at with they, if it's still getting your attention, then that means you have some healing to do in those areas, right? And we hold on to all these little things and we're like walking around like this. Like, I got all this stuff in my hand. This is like a cell phone case, some socks. I'm just picking up whatever's sitting here on my bed, curtain remote, sitting here. And we're walking around like this. And then we have like, lip gloss, some books. We walking around like this. And we're just like, universe, please give me everything that I want. And the universe like this, like, where am I put it? And you're just like, but wait, I don't want to let go all of this hurt and pain and aggravation and all the people I know treated me like I know I should have been not treated, and all the people that helped me with my low self-esteem and helped me lose my confidence. I want to hold on to that. It makes me feel like I'm better than others. It makes me feel like I have something to fight for. It makes me feel like I have something to prove. And the universe is like, I want to give you these things, but I don't have nowhere to put it. And eventually you got to come to the place where you just like, I'm open to receive. Right? I'm releasing and I'm open to receive, because you realize that there's no way to get around that process. That the more you hold on to things so tightly, the more that you try to make other people responsible for how you feel, the deeper you dig yourself into resentment and bitterness, and then making poor decisions that dig deeper into the issues that you probably need to work out, right? And so this kind of something that I was sitting there, going on about this morning. I woke up this morning and the only thing that was on my mind was release to receive. I don't even know why I heard that. I don't even know why it popped into my head, but I have very vivid and lucid dreams, right? Big time dreams. Dreams always tell me something, right? One of my biggest dreams I remember as a kid was trying to punch people, and I'm not getting any traction with my fists. And I used to wonder, what was that? And when I was reading the spiritual meaning behind it once, they were saying that it means that you are not able to truly, what is it? You're not able to truly share what you need to share with people. Like, you're not able to truly stand up for yourself. You're not able to truly fight for yourself because you're such in an emotional disarray that everything that happens with you, you take it personal, you get offended, and then you shrink smaller. So you never truly learn how to defend yourself and how to be a person that's strong and solid and say, I am this, I believe this, and I'm okay with that. And if at any given time, I'm going to evolve and change and be and do more or whatever, I got to be willing to be open for it, right? And so I was like, yeah, that definitely was it, because I didn't have a lot of backbone, I'll say. I had a lot of fire. Sagittarius, I don't know how real that is, but it sure does sound like me when I hear the astrological readings, right? I didn't have a lot of backbone. I had a lot of fire. And sometimes we can mistake backbone for a fire for backbone, when really you're just, spewing off every time you get an emotional charge. But on a regular basis, you're letting people break your boundaries all the time. And so, the minute when you don't even have boundaries, right? And so you're just in that space. And so you wind up being angry, reactive, as opposed to understanding your value and what you're worth and all this sort of thing, right? You're really placing it in other people's hands. And the minute they don't, co-sign or amen the belief you think you have of yourself, it's all of a sudden lash out. So I walked around in that for, a lot of time. And so when I think about like those kind of dreams and all that kind of stuff and lucid dreams, I wake up sometime with these little epiphanies. And so like this morning, the only thing was on my mind was like release to receive, right? And it means that what are you holding on to, and what do you have an idea of that didn't go your way or that didn't meet a standard that you think it is, and just release it, right? Release people, right? Release their attitudes, release their approval, release their support. Right. And this is what I mean all the time when I'm always talking about how we have to learn how to not need people so much. And so many people have always taken that the wrong way when I've said it. They mean it like, people can't live alone. We're social beings and all. And that's not what I mean by that. I already know these are the things. When we are in a healthy place, we have the right kind of connections and the right kind of relationships. When we ever feel like we are in need of people for really specific things, or we have to have this thing, then we're always off, right? Because at any given time, that's just not the case. At any given time, someone can leave your life tomorrow, and whatever you thought you needed from them, you can go get from somebody else at some point, or either you can give that to yourself, right? So the need to me is dangerous. Because, when people talk about needs in relationships, it's really dangerous, because I'm going to talk about that in another video. Needs and wants. Because I'm about to go deeper into that, and I'm not even talking about that today. But yes, that's a good subject, and I'm definitely going to go deeper into it, but that's a whole different subject. But this release to receive thing really hit me, because I realized how when you're so full and you're so cluttered and you have so much going on, there's not even space for the universe to say, here, there's not even space for God, for the source energy, right? To say, here, have this stuff. Here, you're ready, you're open, you have enough space, right? Because we are these tangible beings, and there are practicalities related to us. There's only so much that we can take on without knowing that we don't have space and we're holding on to things from the past, right? So what in your life that you have going on where you can kind of release to receive, right? You can release, being bitter with an ex-husband. You can release being bitter with a baby mama. You can release being bitter with a professor that gave you a 79 when you needed an 80 to graduate with your PhD. See, even I got stuff to still release, right? And you had to stay in college for 2 more years because they gave you a 79, right? And you know what? I'm saying that now, it doesn't even pain me the way it did when it happened, right? It doesn't. All it did was made me give more grace to other people. And so what can you release that you've been holding on to? Some story that makes you feel more, I'll say holier than thou, that makes you feel better than someone because you're holding on to this idea that somehow they were wrong and you were right, right? And whether or not that stuff is true, whether or not you can ask 1,000 people and they agree with you, what does holding on to it get you? It doesn't get us anything. It doesn't get us the type of life and the expansion and the evolution that we are truly, truly searching for in this earth experience, right? In our human experience. It doesn't bring us any closer to that. Anyway, I hope y'all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And think about that. What can you release in order to receive? Release, receive. Release, receive. Release, receive. Release, receive. I like that. Release, receive. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.